I feel like I'm in this season of my journey where I have this trust I haven't ever felt before in my path. And I don't know where the path is going to lead. However, I feel very balanced and grounded and confident with my open heart um, to live my life. It's like this energetic multitasking
Yeah,
that I like.
it's incredibly
Yeah.
related. It's awesome. My theme lately has been a lot with creating systems and foundation for me to multitask multiple projects. So I have engineering.
Mm,
I feel the calling to collaborate with other aura mediators and with other practitioners. I have no idea what the purpose of that is, but I have to muscle practice that. Collaboration still needs a muscle building
mm,
thing because it's so tough to work with other people. We're so different. And at the same time, we're so sensitive right now that we're like, this is uncomfortable. I'm getting uncomfortable, like we get off our comfort zone when we're collaborating with people with for a vision. I just feel more open to be in the world and put put my energy into things. And when those visions that I have that are really big are not, I can't get to them, I take little opportunities to muscle build the collaboration. Just adding a little bit of my skills and obviously my values are coming in with those into into collaborating. So I'm really defining what collaboration is in a
mm,
mature, simple way because I do sense that it's tough. I do collaborations with all sorts of people, and it's like it's interesting. It's an interesting mix, and how to be assertive, how to be telling our truth and being ourselves and being in our energy, and yet allowing people to be themselves and do their thing as well. So that's kind of been a theme for me.
mm. And collaboration is a big one because what comes through for me, because I've had a very deep, traumatizing, as well as expansive and enlightening experiences around community and collaboration.
Mhm. Mhm.
And for me, it has been breaking the survival pattern and the felt sense of codependency. So I have had to learn what codependency actually feels like for me in
Yeah.
order to learn what collaboration feels like. Because collaboration for me is a much higher frequency, and my my body, you know, being that I've had so much trauma, um, it wasn't able to receive collaboration because I would just activate people because I was so in tune to my own healing, like probably a little bit too unbalanced in my healing. Um,
Yeah.
Meaning I was too serious, like I was in a like incessant need to heal.
Yeah.
And I would activate people because of that.
Hmm.
And it wasn't so that I could, it wasn't conscious.
Yeah.
It was because I was releasing codependency. I was so deeply entangled in my healing
Yeah.
and I was being, on a subconscious level, being self-centered in what was possible. And what this created was an intention to activate other people. and
Yeah.
so it would activate their codependency, and so on and so forth, because
Interesting.
I was untangling it so incessantly. Like I
Yeah.
just imagine myself like just continuing to like untangle this like ball of yarn.
Yeah.
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 And so I was activating people in a way that it all happened as it was supposed to. Um, but it just continued creating a healing loop for me. And so I really have had to learn
Mm-hmm.
self autonomy,
Yeah. Yeah.
not through validation of collaboration, but through my own inner landscape and changing the climate of it.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective.
Mhm.
Yeah. That gave me a lot of I feel like I've felt that before, the whole codependency and thing. And I wonder if I've untangled myself from that. I feel like organically being a neuromediator has untangled me and probably the work that I've done. Not necessarily me thinking it that way because I have my own language, but somehow I've unentangled myself from a lot of codependency, building boundaries and understanding myself and all that. But I see that. I understand that. And yeah, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why collaboration is difficult because I do sense like how difficult it can be. I can sense the nervous system of people and even myself when something comes up that is kind of like edgy, that it's like, ooh, there's a boundary, but there's a boundary that is blocking our collaboration, you know? And you can feel it and I respect it. And it's just like, it kind of creates a little awkwardness in the collaboration, especially if two sensitive people are sensing those edges. Um, but I've been like as I learn more stuff about this stuff, but as I learn more, I have become a little bit more mature about it, like more softer about it, more like, oh, that's what it is, and not taking it personally as well. And I feel like I'm a pusher a bit. It's something that I've been softening with time, but I just love teamwork. I wouldn't call it community because I have a lot of little trauma around it. I mean, I wouldn't say I have a lot of trauma around it because I worked on it, but the word community just makes me feel like, ugh, what? What do you mean? I'm not
Okay.
doing that.
This is
It's the
correct.
word. It's like, it's the word. It's the
It's
word
the
that comes
energy.
behind. The happiest moments in my life was in my undergrad when I naturally, and this is when now that I'm like more clear and things are happening to me, I'm noticing that this is something that I've had my whole life, that I create teams, organic teams. People are attracted to me and I'm attracted to them. So it's some dynamic happens and we have a team and we're all working together and everybody's unique and everybody has like it's just beautiful. And I want to create that again. I stayed in my engineering major because of it, because of how powerful it was. We could do anything that was hard and difficult because we were all together. And I don't think anything is hard and I like making things simple. So I'm like, I love creating with a team. So I'm like a team builder. I think it's easy for me. I create teams and that's why I want to create collaborations in more levels with all types of people. So it's just
Yeah, like it's so interesting because for me, and the way I've experienced it is there is so I received this download a long time ago, meaning a truth of wisdom that comes through and I'm present to it. And so my nervous system is able to imprint it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I get to inform my reality through that.
Okay.
And the download that I received many, many, many years ago, and I share it consistently, and it's my truth. And so everybody needs to discern for themselves how it lands for them. But the human conditioning is seated in two seats, and then everything else roots from it. And we're talking about human conditioning. And the human conditioning, the two seeds are codependency and competition.
Yeah.
For me, those are the two seeds. And then everything else roots from it.
Yeah.
So in human conditioning, if there is two seeds and everything roots from it, think about how much we have to let go of within our conditioning to not be rooted in codependency.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's because like for me, community, the way that I can feel the subtlety and the undercurrents, and I can sense the rhythms of conditioned vibrations. And this is something I've cultivated. But with that being said, community, and I'm going to probably share a unpopular opinion, community is based in codependency. Like for the most part, people join community, yes, to support them, but because of our conditioning, it starts moving energy through codependency, through the seeds and the roots of our codependency. And
Yeah.
so community um, turns toxic, essentially. I mean, and then we have to reevaluate, usually through some really tough things that need to be exposed, and trauma and so on and so forth, because that is what the human conditioning is seated in. And so for me, community is, it needs a lot of washing. It needs a lot of cleaning. It needs a lot of purifying.
Untangling and cleaning and
It needs a
yeah.
lot of purifying.
Yeah.
Um, if there was, I believe that we are upgrading from that conditioned vibrational frequency. And so it's being exposed really what community is. And there's going to be people that disagree with me totally. And I am completely like, perspective is so, so important. And so I receive everyone's perspective and discern it for myself.
Yeah.
But
That's amazing. That's beautiful. I
it's
think,
something to land to
yeah.
offer
No,
up.
it makes sense. It makes sense. And it's like for me, I was like appreciating a hypersensitive healer type and how deep healers can go into this and really like that's the beauty of being a healer. I was just appreciating the whole thing. I was just like, this is the healer's job. Go into the root and then and give it language, and giving it language is it's clarifying. It's I don't know. Just yeah, no, I agree, and that's probably why I feel so uncomfortable. Yeah, especially when you
Because you're like in your self autonomy, like you're in your own vibration. And
yeah.
so it's challenging to um I, I'm not going to say it's challenging. I'm going to say we're going through a season of a collective movement.
Yeah.
And we are having to choose um, what is for our highest good. And, um, you know, we can be as intentional with that as
Yeah.
as our capacity can hold.
Yeah. The whole topic with community and what you even mentioned that you said might not be like it's controversial. Um yeah, there are people that will be like get confused, but I can see that they're mostly talking looking at it from a very logical perspective. So they're coming from a different way of consciousness seeing it. But the whole controversial portion is like we're social species, and I think what you're mentioning has nothing to do with not like we're not social species. We are, but it's like really understanding like the conditioning that we've been doing it with
Mm-hmm.
leads to that. And I think yeah. And being part of like for myself that I've untangled myself in a lot of things. But when I put myself in those situations, it still feels uncomfortable, even though I'm not entangled, you know. Um, for me, collaborating with companies and stuff, it's still I have to have like agreements. I'm learning that I need to have agreements or speaking very clear with them what my role is because I cannot entangle myself in making many roles with people I collaborate with, because that will create that entanglement that feels uncomfortable. Not having the right boundaries, not having like not being clear enough. That's something I'm learning with my own businesses that I'm doing. I offer a service and then really, really putting it really clear exactly what I do so I don't create that miss that creates somehow something that it's not feeling does not feel good. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's codependency, but it um yeah, there's something.
Well, and also it's in their vibration, right? And so if it's in their vibration and you are sensing it or they are trying to latch on and want you to be codependent on them or vice versa,
Hmm.
that is something that will also create static
Yeah.
if your vibration is in its autonomy and somebody's knocking at your door and trying to get you, to do something that you don't want to do,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And
Hmm.
that's the static that I think we can feel,
Hmm.
even though we're not entangled in it or it's not as prominent in our vibration. It's it's still something that we're gonna feel on a subtle level, and so like I've really had to learn and discern to learn to discern um, to use my discernment in what those different nuances are
Yeah.
and and just hold true in my discernment. So like I don't judge someone because they have a need to feel codependent, or I don't judge someone because subconsciously that's just part of who they are in that season of their journey. Like I don't sometimes I don't even judge someone if if they're speaking to me in a rough way or whatever. Like there are ways to be able to stay in your vibration. And when you do that, you don't take on somebody else's energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And when you do that, they have to then hold on to their own shit.
Hmm.
And it's pretty wild how within no time at all they'll come to some type of self-realization.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and then you guys are friends again or whatever.
Yeah. If it's yeah. I agree.
Or you're if you're at the grocery store and
Yeah.
somebody is they're having you know a tiff within themselves and they're trying to project it upon you, this is all part of codependency.
Mm-hmm.
Absorbing, projecting, all of it. These
Mm,
ways that we use our energy in a codependent
mm.
aspect. And so it's, I mean, it is entangled in conditioning.
Wow.
And so it's just you learn your own energy. That's all you have to do. That's
Mm-hmm.
all you ever have to do. You just
Yeah.
get out of your own way, learn your own energy, and everything else
Yeah.
will take care of itself.